of them. Observation. Observation is where it all begins, where opportunities are recognized and threats are noted. It's observation skills that can keep you out of a bad situation or help you recognize what your opportunities are if it's inevitable. The famous military strategist Misai says in his book, The 5 Rings, a true warrior studies all things, and in one thing, know 10,000 things. From our survival skills class, we learn to quickly identify which information is relevant and discard which is not, as this is what will make the difference. One of our instructors, a former recon Marine, talked about the Virginia Tech shooting, and he told us that the biggest problem was that the responders hadn't done any observation before they arrived. They arrived without any floor plans. So when they found the front doors chained, it took them 9 minutes to get into the building. And the shooter was shooting at a rate of 4 students a minute. So had they done their homework observation ahead of time, how many lives could have been saved? We learned from the former CIA agents that observation skills are all about what deception detection is about, picking up verbal and nonverbal cues, as any poker player knows. Sound?
Land is down, Betty. Top 2 pair. It's a monster hand. I'm gonna lay that down. Because you got 2-4 and I'm not gonna draw against the main hand. The rule is this. You spot a man's tell, you don't say a word. I finally spotted KGB's. And usually I'd have let him go on chewing those Oreos till he was dead broke. But I don't have that kind of time.
What we observe about, that's in the movie Rounders, which was one of the great poker movies, and actually one of our instructors was the guy who taught Matt Damon how to play for that movie. He spots KGB's tell there with the Oreos, and we learn, the lesson is that what we observe about our opponent's actions is often much more important than the cards that are in our hand. Analysis. Analysis is deciphering the observations that we've taken in. Data alone is meaningless. It's our ability to translate the data points into information, into knowledge, and finally into wisdom, faster than anyone else, that gives us the agility to understand and to adapt. Colonel John Boyd was a young Air Force pilot in the 1950s. He realized that seeing and then understanding an enemy situation was key to being able to clarify a plan and how to execute it. If he could do it faster, he could win. And further, if he could cloud the enemy's perspective, even better. He bet any takers $40 in the 1950s that he could start a dogfight with them from a position of disadvantage and within 40 seconds be on their tail. He did this by hindering his opponent's ability to observe him, by staying in their blind spot, by acting in ways that were unpredictable, thus preventing them from being able to analyze the information. He messed up their information loop and he processed his faster. This led to consistent victory. He never lost a bet. Intention. We think intention is all about what we want to achieve, but we have to know why we want to achieve it in the first place. It's about knowing our values and what we're willing to fight for in every sense of the word. This is what Gary Hoover was talking about when he told me to rip up that paper. I had observed opportunities in the marketplace. I had analyzed how to take advantage of them. But because those businesses meant nothing to me, he knew that I didn't have the intention that would give me the strength to keep on fighting when it got really hard, and to be happy doing so. That's why he told me to come back when I had something that would open my eyes. In war, victory can mean a much smaller force over a much larger force.
Dark sauce. What a pleasant surprise. This morning's full of surprises, Leonidas.
If the trick you, if you want, this is a surprise.
Silence! We heard Sparta was on the warpath. We were eager to join forces. If it is blood you seek, you're welcome to join us. But you bring only this handful of soldiers against Xerxes? You see, I was wrong to expect Sparta's commitment to at least match our own. Doesn't it? You, there. What is your profession? I'm a butler. And you, Arcadian, what is your profession?
Sculptor, sir. You? Blacksmith.
Spartans! What is your profession?
See, old friend, I brought muscle.
That's intention. So size doesn't matter if you have the right intentions. Focus. Focus is the key to winning, staying in the game. In business, focus can often mean knowing exactly who your target market is and not deviating. Before I started my businesses, I knew who he or she was that was going to come to Slaughter Spice Floor my 6 Academy. I could draw them. I knew what shoes they were wearing. I knew what was in their wallet. You've all heard the expression, you can't be everything to everybody. Try it and you are sunk. In the military, they have a saying, strong everywhere is weak everywhere. Observe your enemy, analyze their weak points, and focus all of your strength on those weak points. In his book, Talent is Overrated, Jeff Colvin talks about the great maestros in many different fields. And he says that the Beethovens and the Michael Jordans of the world were not the result of preternatural gifts, but of incredibly focused practice. He says a great runner does not just jog around the track running every day. They measure every stride and every breath and work solely on improving that ratio step by step to make the difference. Okay, so we've observed, analyzed, we have our intentions set, we're focused, and now it's time to commit to action. Will you be afraid? Of course. In our knife fighting class, our instructors stress that you never draw your knife unless you're ready to use it. And if you're ready to use it, accept that you may be cut. But you need full commitment to action or risk full defeat. In reality, as in fiction, as we're about to see, it's important to act on your plan and not become distracted by it.
I've been looking for you for 8 months. Whenever I should have had a gun in my right hand, I thought of you. Now I find you in exactly the position that suits me. I had lots of time to learn how to shoot with my left. When you have to shoot, shoot, don't talk.
Point made. Follow through. Follow through must be relentless and impactful. Whether in your golf swing, in sales calls, or in battle, your ability to follow through moves you ahead or stops you cold. And yet follow through is often the most neglected steps. We had a knife fighting class recently, and one of our instructors was showing a takedown, and one of the people said, well, what happens if you take the guy down and he gets back up? And the instructor looked at him and said, when I take him down, he doesn't get back up. He said, I only want to fight the fight once. How many times in dealing in business situations do we make sort of half-hearted attempts to do something because we don't want to do what it takes to follow it all the way through? So, in Spy School, we try to condense 20 years of training into a weekend and sometimes even one day, and I've tried to condense it here for you in 20 minutes. The alchemy of entrepreneurship, turning that idea into a tangible business, and the principles that we use to do so. Understand that all the battles you must fight, you must win here first. Define success by having done everything you possibly can to influence the outcome. Go through these 6 principles, making sure that you have been complete in your observations, thoughtful in your analysis, clear in your intentions, precise in your focus, dedicated in your commitment to action, and thorough in your follow-through. That's all you can ever do, is be prepared and then be bold. Thank you. There was actually